Hi, I'm Amy Clarkson with the Clarkson Premier Team, and I'm here today with some of my great past clients. They were first-time home buyers, Joe and Becky Walker, and I'm kind of here today just to kind of have you guys explain how you felt through the process and how you got through and were successful in buying your first home. So, what was the most exciting thing about buying your first home?
I was finding the perfect home. We were looking in De Cordova, and you took us around to 7 to 9 properties, and there was really just one that clicked. The rest of, the other ones were kind of quirky, and we had to kind of look past something in order to like the home. But once we found it, we walked in and we knew, and that was a great feeling.
Oh, awesome! Very good. And what else? What else did you like about the home buying experience? That's all right.
Owning a home was way better than renting, so that was really great.
Okay, good, awesome.
Yeah, we're able to establish ourselves, and just decorate. And know that you're not going to have to take it down in a year or two when you move. So that was a great feeling.
We also really enjoyed having a realtor to work with us. I know a lot of people will do the on their own or try and cut out some of those costs, but it was definitely worth it to have someone there to fight for us, to negotiate and to try and help us get as much money on our end as possible. So
cool.
And someone who knows the area too, because we're not native Texans, and we lived in Arlington previously, so we were kind of looking for somewhere out near where we work, and we discovered De Cordova, and you were able to offer us a lot of information on Granbury.
Great. What were some things that you wish you would have known before you started the process?
So the way that we did our loan, we were able to finance 100% since we were first-time home buyers. But even financing 100%, there are still closing costs that we weren't quite prepared. We weren't quite prepared for, but we were able to save some money in those couple months and reach out and get that money in the bank account so that they could see it was there. So there are definitely closing costs that we didn't know until we reached out to you. So that was a big portion that we wish that we would have thought about or known before.
And we just assumed, because we were first-time home buyers, we didn't really need any money.
It's a process.
Because we didn't have to put anything down, and then the closing costs really added up, and then there's membership fees where we live too, so that we didn't really consider that, but we managed to make it work.
Good. Yeah, because you had the time period from when you get in a contract to closing to save for those closing costs. So I think we structured the loan around where you had enough time to do that. Right?
Yeah, and the lender
contract.
Yeah, and the lender kept us up to date the whole time, and he didn't push through until the very last minute to make sure that we had enough money in there ready to go. And then our closing costs didn't even end up being close to what
they were
they estimated.
Lower. Right.
And so then that was also nice being able to furnish parts of the
surprise.
house.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about in the beginning process when you did inspections? Was there anything scary or unsure about that?
Yeah. It was. We thought it looks great on the outside, but you don't really know what's going on. So some stuff came back with some electrical work that was outdated, and the roof we had no idea when it had been replaced last, and then some sprinkler issues. So what ended up happening is you were working with the previous owners to get some money out of them for the electrical work.
Right.
So that helped out as well and made us feel at ease that we would be able to get it repaired if we needed to.
And the inspector also uses a lot of really fancy words to say that it's not in code currently, but it is in code still, and just that they list everything.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that can possibly be listed, they list it. So the report looks really scary, but it turns out it's
not too bad.
It's not scary at all.
Yeah. So you were able to buy your first home. You've been living there for a while. What do you have? Do you have anything to offer advice for a new first-time home buyer that's looking?
Yeah, the process doesn't take as long as you think it does. I know people said that you need to look months in advance and you need to start the process months in advance. But we met with you, or we called you from a reference. The next weekend, we looked at homes and we put an offer down that same day. The process does not take as long as they say it does. I firmly believe that. My mom said it takes months, and everyone said it takes months, but it No, from the time we started looking, it was a day.
Right.
Yeah.
But you guys were prepared when we first
That
met.
is
You had
true.
already started talking to your lender. You already knew your buying power. And so we had that first meeting about what you were looking for. So we really dialed in what you were looking for, and
That's
even
true.
including area. I think y'all had one neighborhood already picked
Yeah.
out that you wanted to be
I guess
in.
that's true.
And so we were able to laser focus. So knowing what you were looking for, it was very helpful in that process too.
Yeah. So I feel like you can't wait around these days,
No,
especially in certain areas. So we really knew what we wanted, what we could spend, and where we wanted to live. So that helped a lot and kind of narrow it. And luckily, we found a home that fit because we already had
Well,
a lot of
there's-
specific things we wanted.
And there's tools that help you with that now, too.
Yeah. We
Absolutely.
did a lot of internet research before we came to you.
Good, awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking some time to visit with me and maybe help our future home buyers out there. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank
You're
It was
welcome.
our pleasure to help you find that first
Oh,
home.
Yes,
Thank
we loved
you.
it.